Hello and welcome to our WIFR FastCast. Our top story here this afternoon, a Winnebago County judge sentences a 37-year-old man to 50 years in prison. On Christmas in 2023, Ricky Guignard robbed and shot a man in the 1300 block of Broadway. Guignard demanded the man's belongings, but when he refused, the suspect shot him and took his jewelry. The shooting was captured on camera and the man was taken to a hospital. Guignard was a convicted felon for crimes in 2006, 2012, and 2016. A day after a woman was seriously hurt after getting hit by a car on Auburn Street in Rockford, neighbors don't feel safe on their own sidewalks. WIFR's Nathaniel Langley speaks to neighbors and reaches out to the city of Rockford about how people can stay safe on some of the busiest roads in the state line and how community members can help.
Hey folks, WIFR's Nathaniel Langley here. In the rain is coming down and the snow is still on the ground, especially on the sidewalks of Auburn Street, where just on the heels of a pedestrian crash last night, residents around here tell me that they don't feel safe walking on the sidewalks. Coming up in our shows later today and eventually on WIFR.com, we'll learn about their experiences and see what action they want to see from the city. Stay tuned.
Rockford drivers will need to find a different route as the 2400 block of Spring Creek Road is reduced to one lane due to water main repairs. The construction area begins at High Crest Road to all traffic heading east. Residents in the area will be notified if crews will shut off their water, and work is expected to last up to about 4 days. Loves Park Police host a presentation to spread the message of identifying and preventing scams. The free meeting addresses common scam tactics, warning signs, and steps to prevent being a victim. The department says with scams targeting older adults, the presentation offered valuable information to help people stay safe.
Biggest red flag would be acting immediately. If you get a text or an email that says you have this much time to respond, or this is going to happen, that's what they're trying to get you to act now.
The Better Business Bureau says the winter weather is a perfect storm for those scams. This includes those regular home maintenance, snow removal, and furnace inspections. Experts recommend to check a company's background, make sure to ask for references, and pay bills with a credit card, never asking for cash up front. Boosting pride in Rockford's Midtown neighborhood, R1 will work to reduce blight and help out local businesses through their Livable Community initiative. Midtown would be the second neighborhood to receive this support, with Keith Creek receiving technical support addressing the flooding concerns earlier this year. WIFR's Bria Walters speaks with Rockford City Council member Jaime Salgado and Midtown's executive director about how they plan to breathe new life into the community. 25 people donated blood so far on Wednesday for our WIFR Season of Giving blood drive with the Rock River Valley Blood Center. Currently, we're sitting at about 215 donations for our 800 weekly goal. If you do donate Thursday, you could win a round of golf from Rockford Country Club. If you donate Friday, you could win 2 gift baskets from Mrs. Fisher's, as well as 4 movie passes to Classic Cinemas. And things are taking a chilly turn after some of these unseasonably high temperatures here yesterday. I'll tell you what, reaching almost 50 degrees here today, it's pretty nice, but certainly something that's not going to be sustainable as we head a little bit further here into this week. So let's take a look at our hour-by-hour timecast right now. So as you can see, we're currently sitting at about 39 degrees with a little bit of rain there, but you can see pretty much right after this 1 o'clock hour, that's when the rain is really going to dry up. Take a look at the 2 o'clock hour. We only have about a 10% chance for some precipitation. And then moving into the 4 o'clock, another 10%. And then 7, we've got a 20% chance for some precipitation. But other than that, things are going to remain dry. Now, while we are talking about the precipitation, what really is going to matter here is that temperature drop. You can see that right now, we're almost at 40 degrees here, but then as we enter into the 6 o'clock hour, things are going to start dropping fast hour by hour after that. So taking things slow here, 37 degrees as we enter the 2 o'clock hour, dropping by a degree or two there as we enter 3, 4, and 5. But then look at 6. Like I said, we're dropping 5 degrees there from the 5 o'clock to the 6 o'clock, and then we're dipping into those 20-degree temperatures there. Take a look at the 10 o'clock. We're breaking that 20-degree temperature mark there, going into the teens there. So it's certainly going to be super cold, and with all of that rainfall that we had here today, that's only going to make things worse for those road conditions. You may have heard DJ or Kira talking yesterday on WIFR News on air and online, talking about something called flash freezing. Now, this is something that we have to worry about when we do get an increased amount of rainfall here across the state line. And then, of course, with those dropping temperatures, so rapidly, things are going to freeze, and they're going to freeze fast. I will say something that we are working on here a little closer to the station here is just kind of sitting down and working with some of the different communities in the area, talking to them, saying, hey, what are your fines for these sorts of things? Are folks really going to be getting in trouble if they aren't pre-salting some sidewalks, things like that, because they are going to be freezing over fast. Now, one thing that I did hear from some public works departments in the area is that they are not going to be able to pre-salt these roads. That's because with some of the rain that we've got, it's just going to wash all the salt right off the roadways. So that's definitely something that they will not be able to do. So once that rain starts to wrap up here after the 1 o'clock hour, I imagine most of those state line public works crews are going to be heading out to the roads, and that's when you're going to see some of that salt start to appear on the roads. However, they do have to let that rain freeze over a little bit in order to ensure that the salt is actually able to do its job. Now, those stories that I mentioned here just a couple of minutes ago will be coming up in our shows at 4, 5, 6, and 10. And then, of course, to make sure that you're getting the latest news both here in the state line and across the country, you can head to our website. That's www.wifr.com. Or the best way that you guys can get information fast from us is to head to your smartphone's app store and download our WIFR News app. I'm also just going to leave this QR code up there for those of you who are maybe watching on a computer screen or on our streaming apps on Roku TV, Apple TV, and Amazon. All you have to do is just scan this picture right here on your phone app, and it's going to pull up your App Store, either the Google Play Store or the Apple App Store, and you can download this app. And then, of course, also, since we were just talking about the potential for some of that flash freezing, you're going to want to download our First Alert Weather app here. And this is going to be the best way that we can get any of the extra, weather information out to you. I know that our First Alert Weather team is working throughout every single day. It's not necessarily just days where we do have the potential for something disastrous out there on the roads. They work every single day giving those updates to anything, whether it's rain or shine. They want to make sure that you're keeping yourself safe, especially out there on the roadways, and especially as we enter into the holidays. Thank you so much again for watching, and we'll see you coming up here in just a couple of hours for WIFR News First to 4 with City Stuff Reagan.